لأجلك يا بقية تدوم في أرقة المعابر تعانق الكنائس القديمة Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! From the sea Free our prisoners, free them all.
Free our prisoners, free them all.
Zionism will fall.
Zionism will fall.
Free our prisoners, free them all.
Free our prisoners, free them all.
Break the chains and let them fall.
Break the chains and let them fall.
Free our prisoners, free them all.
Free our prisoners, free them all.
Zionism will fall.
Zionism will fall.
Imperialism will fall.
Imperialism will fall.
Israel will fall.
Israel will fall.
Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
From the river to the sea.
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 Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
From the sea to the river.
From the sea to the river.
Palestine will live forever.
Palestine will live forever.
Palestine to Lebanon.
Palestine to Lebanon.
Our resistance will live on.
Our resistance will live
From
on.
Palestine to Lebanon.
Palestine to Lebanon.
Our resistance will live on.
Our resistance will live on.
Palestine to Lebanon.
Palestine to Lebanon.
Our resistance will live on.
Our resistance will live
From
on.
Lebanon to Palestine.
Lebanon to Palestine.
Stop the U.S. war crimes.
Stop the U.S. war
From
crime.
Lebanon to Palestine.
Lebanon to Palestine.
Stop the U.S. war crimes.
Stop the U.S. war
From
crime.
Iran to Palestine.
Iran to Palestine.
Stop the U.S. war crimes.
Stop the U.S. war
From
crime.
Iran to Palestine.
Iran to Palestine.
Stop the U.S. war crimes.
Stop the U.S. war crime.
We want justice, you say how?
We want justice, you say how?
Release our prisoners now.
Release our prisoners now.
We want justice, you say how?
We want justice, you say how?
Release our prisoners now.
Release our prisoners now.
We want justice, you say how?
We want justice, you say how?
Release all prisoners now.
Release all prisoners now.
Release all prisoners now.
Release all prisoners now.
Glory, glory to our murder.
Glory, glory to our
To
martyrs.
our children, sons and
To
daughters.
our children, sons and daughters.
Glory, glory to our martyrs.
Glory, glory to our
To
martyrs.
our parents, mothers,
To
fathers.
our parents, mothers, fathers.
Glory, glory to our martyrs.
Glory, glory to our martyrs.
To our children, sons and daughters.
To our children, sons and daughters.
Glory, glory to our martyrs.
Glory, glory to our martyrs.
To our parents, mothers,
To
fathers.
our parents, mothers, fathers.
Let's to Beirut.
To Beirut.
All our martyrs we salute.
All our martyrs we salute.
From Esna to Beirut.
To Beirut.
All our martyrs we salute.
All our martyrs we salute.
All our prisoners we salute.
All our prisoners we salute.
From Esna to Beirut.
To Beirut.
All our prisoners we salute.
All our prisoners we salute.
From Esna to Beirut.
To Beirut.
All our prisoners we salute.
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 From the river to the sea.
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
From the sea to the river.
From the sea to the river.
Palestine will live forever.
Palestine will be forever.
And there is only one solution.
There is only one solution.
Intifada revolution.
Intifada revolution.
There is only one solution.
There is only one solution.
Intifada revolution.
Intifada revolution.
Intifada, intifada.
Intifada, intifada.
Long live intifada.
Long live intifada.
Intifada, intifada.
Intifada, intifada.
Long live intifada.
Long live intifada.
There is only one solution.
There is only one solution.
Intifada revolution.
Intifada revolution.
One solution.
One solution.
Revolution.
Revolution.
One solution.
One solution.
Revolution.
Revolution.
One solution.
Revolution.
One solution.
Revolution.
One solution.
Revolution.
One solution.
Revolution.
There is only one solution.
There is only one solution.
Intifada revolution.
Intifada revolution.
All right, welcome. Thank you all for joining us on this 52nd anniversary of Palestinian Prisoners' Day. Today we are here to honor our prisoners, the North Star of our struggle, Our prisoners who carry the weight of our struggle. Our prisoners who continue to resist every single day in Zionist dungeons. We will continue to honor them, to uplift their struggle, and to call on the world to support the Palestinian prisoners' struggle. Today we have an amazing lineup of speakers, and I want to start with an organization that has consistently worked to expand the framework of our liberation struggle and advocate for the total liberation of Palestine and Palestinians. Please join me in welcoming Noor from the Palestinian Feminist Collective. Captivity, incarceration, and gender violence. These are cornerstones of the US-backed Zionist colonization and occupation of Palestine. The incarceration of Palestinians is directly connected to the fragmentation of our people from their land, separation of families, restriction of movement, and violation of every aspect of Palestinian life. Since they have existed, Zionist dungeons have been the site of unconscionable crimes of sexualized violence on the bodies and souls of Palestinian prisoners. Our women, men, and children in Zionist captivity have endured solitary confinement, strip searches as a method of humiliation, rape, beatings, and torture as a means to further fracture their bodies, families, communities, psyches, and land. We commit to continue to do everything in our power to hold the perpetrators of Zionist terror accountable to their crimes and expose the fundamentally poisonous nature of Zionism and U.S. imperialism. Yep. These twin forces know only death and only destruction. It is no coincidence that our people in Palestine and our people on Turtle Island endure the same injustice and the same brutality. While Palestinian men are tortured in Zionist dungeons, pregnant women are miscarrying and bleeding out in ICE detention centers. While Palestinian women endure strip searches and assaults by IOF soldiers, Black incarcerated women here are shackled during childbirth. While Palestinian families suffer forced separation, parents in Minnesota are kidnapped away from their young children. And while a disabled woman is brutalized by ICE, a Palestinian child is arrested and detained without charge. Under Zionist settler colonialism and U.S. imperialism, gendered and carceral violence are inseparable. Despite continuous threats from the Zionist forces against freed prisoners and their families, Palestinians have shown immense courage and steadfastness in their choice to share the conditions that they have endured. That is why the Palestinian Feminist Collective will be releasing a historic report in collaboration with Progressive International, documenting the systemic nature of Israeli and gendered and sexualized violence from 1948 until today. The testimonies and research presented from our prisoners in this report make undeniable the predatory nature of the Israeli state. We say that our prisoners are a North Star not only because it is our duty to destroy the systems that hold them captive, but because they guide our struggle to victory. Their ingenuity, their perseverance, their bravery light our path forward. For generations of incarceration and subjugation, Palestinian prisoners have continued to insist on life. Today, a generation of Palestinian children has been born through sperm smuggled from between prison bars. Our prisoners have transformed Zionist dungeons into schools for revolution. All within the prison walls, hunger strikes have been organized, children have been raised, and resistance has thrived. Recently freed Palestinian political prisoner Khaled al-Jarrah teaches us that hope in prison is like a flower that grows out of stone. To insist on life in the face of the most brutal aspects of Zionism, that is the lesson that our prisoners teach us. Free our prisoners, free them all!
Free our prisoners, free them all!
Zionism will fall!
Zionism will fall!
Free our prisoners, free them all!
Free our prisoners, free them all!
Zionism will fall!
Zionism will fall.
Thank you. Give it up one more time for Noor from the Palestinian Feminist Collective. Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
From the river to the sea.
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
All right, before we introduce the next speaker, I want to teach everyone here a new chant. A really beautiful chant that is one to honor our prisoners. Can we all do that? Okay, it's in Arabic, but I know we can all do that. All right. So it says, Ya Asir, Sir, Sir.
Ya Asir, Sir, Sir.
إحنا معاك للتحرير. Which means, oh prisoner, continue, or keep going. We are with you until liberation. All right, let's try it again. Ya Asir, Sir, Sir.
Ya Asir, Sir, Sir.
إحنا معاك للتحرير. يا أسير سير سير.
Ya Asir, Sir, Sir.
إحنا معاك للتحرير.
Free.
You guys sound amazing. We'll keep doing it. Practice some more. All right. Next up, I want to introduce Ridhi from Doctors Against Genocide to speak to the really important work that the organization is doing, as well as the conditions of our healthcare workers in Zionist prisons. Please give it up.
Hi, I'm Ridhi from Doctors Against Genocide. I'm here to talk about the healthcare workers in Gaza, more than 400 of which have been abducted to Israeli torture camps since October 7th. Among them is Dr. Hussein Abu Safia, I'm sure many of you know him, a pediatrician and the director of Kamal Adwan Children's Hospital. In 2024, he would often join Doctor Against Genocide's weekly webinars to share updates on the state of the hospital, the need for supplies, the siege and its effects, until December 27th of 2024, when he was kidnapped by Israeli tanks besieging him and his patients at the hospital.
Hey.
Despite countless bombs and threats and shellings, he refused to leave his patients, and he chose to walk out to meet the tanks instead, besieging his hospital with nothing but his lab white coat on. He chose his patients over fear, and in turn they abducted him to the Sdei Teiman torture camp, just north of Gaza. Where he had been for 477 days. And today, DAG, along with USPCN and Healthcare Workers for Palestine, spoke with his colleagues and his family. And I wanted to take a moment to amplify their words. So from Elias Abu Safia, his son. We have not heard from my father in months. Our lawyers have been trying to communicate with him nonstop, but the Israelis are refusing us any contact. The last time we saw him was almost a year ago. He had been beaten and tortured. His health had deteriorated and he had lost an unbelievable amount of weight. They are not letting our lawyers visit him and have canceled our last 3 appointments. We are living in silence. And we also spoke with Dr. Ahmed Hana, the medical director of Al-Awda Hospital. He was detained in early 2024 when they sieged and raided Al-Awda Hospital. And he shared with us the mental and physical abuse he faced. He lost 30 kilograms over just 3 weeks due to the malnutrition, physical and mental stress. In his words, if he was there longer than 3 weeks, he doesn't know what would have happened to him. The interrogations were nonstop. They were accompanied with mental and physical abuse, constant beatings, terrorizing by dogs, sitting in unnatural positions on sharp stones for 16 hours a day. They're fed no vegetables, no protein, nutritional system built to destroy and debilitate their health. Some detainees even lost their lives due to malnutrition, of course, and he saw 2 men whose life in prison, whose life he desperately tried to save, die preventable deaths just due to malnutrition. And he said it was incredibly hard to witness as a doctor. And fortunately, he was released in an exchange deal. But even then, even in the exchanges, our Palestinians are not treated like human beings. They're blindfolded, held chained, handcuffed on their feet and their hands in a hot bus for hours, no idea where they're going until the door opens and they're pushed out. And he was released to find that his entire neighborhood had been destroyed by Israel. neighborhood full of life just gone. And this story is not just Dr. Ahmed Mhana's, it's not just Dr. Hussam Abu Safiya's, not just the hundreds of healthcare workers who've been kidnapped and tortured, but of all Palestinians in Palestine who have known nothing but injustice their whole life, thrown into torture camps for nothing, where legal mechanisms are used to keep them there indefinitely, forever extending their stay 6 months here, another 6 months, another 6 months, until 13 years have passed. And we too, it's very important that we too work indefinitely until we free them, until we free Palestine, and until we rebuild Palestine. It's what it's even better than it was before. And we will rebuild, for sure. So I wanted to share one last thing. A fundraiser DAG is doing to help rebuild Kamal Adwan. We're working closely with them on the ground and talk to them every day in lots of group chats. So just listen, I'm going to say the URL. It's tinyurl.com/DAG rebuild. So DAG rebuild. And we've raised an awesome, amazing amount of support, more than $100,000. It's going to go directly to rebuild the hospital. We don't take everybody in DAG is volunteer run. So please give what you can, and thank you very much.
Free our prisoners, free them all.
Free our prisoners, free them all.
Break the chains and let them fall.
Break the chains and let them fall.
All right, guys, we need more and more energy. We're a smaller crowd. I'm going to ask you all to come in closer also. Bring it in. You guys remember the chant we just learned? Yeah. Okay, let's see it. يا أسير سير سير
ويا أسير سير سير
احنا معاك للتحرير
احنا معاك للتحرير
يا أسير سير سير
ويا أسير سير سير
احنا معاك للتحرير
احنا معاك للتحرير
يا أسير سير سير
ويا أسير سير سير
احنا معاك للتحرير
احنا معاك للتحرير
وعلي علي علي علي
علي علي علي
علي علم الثورة علي
علي علم الثورة علي
علي علي علي علي
علي علي علي
علي علم الثورة علي
علي علم الثورة علي.
Right, next up I want to introduce an organizer from an incredible group that has been writing and publishing very important work from our people in Palestine and from Gaza. Please help me in welcoming Majd from Writers Against War on Gaza. Yesterday, April 17th, marked the 52nd Palestinian Prisoners' Day. Amidst the slogans, the chants, and the calls for freedom, what does it actually mean for prisoners to be the heart of our struggle? In Palestine, the names and stories of prisoners are not only remembered, they are enshrined in chant and song. In Nablus and Jenin, in Al-Quds and Tulkarem, the names of imprisoned children and wives, husbands and elders ring through the streets. Their names become the very sound of sumud, steadfastness, resistance, and the promise of a liberated future. Across Palestine, they have paid the price of their prisoners' freedom in blood. The Zionists know that Palestinians have transformed the hellfire of prisons into a kiln that forges the struggle. Leaders have emerged from the prison's torture chambers with wisdom on how to wage war against their tormentors. And having failed to subjugate the resistance through decades of torture, isolation, and deprivation, the Zionist entity, a failing Leviathan, now reaches for the noose. On March 30th, the Knesset passed the death penalty for terrorist law, championed by the terrorist himself, Ismail Ben Gvir, far-right party. These people who spearheaded the legislation declared the passing of this grotesque law as an expression of true, quote-unquote, Jewish morality. We ask, what morality? The silence inside Israel says everything, and it is not the silence of a society grappling with its fringe. The majority of Zionists are not horrified, they are on board. But this latest attempt to legalize genocide is both a horrifying development and a conclusive admission of defeat. History has not been kind to this theory of control. The British hanged Irish Republicans and produced martyrs whose names are still invoked a century later.
That's right.
The French executed Algerian militants and accelerated the collapse of their entire colonial project. Apartheid South Africa put ANC members on death row and handed the liberation movement its most enduring moral authority. They believed if they killed off resistance leaders, resistance would die, but they catastrophically misread the essence of resistance. That it is the most righteous and rational response. Resistance is a political response to political conditions. Restrictions on movement, construction, access to water, family unification are all part of a colonial project intent on eradication of the Palestinian people, which has and continue to fail. The martyred prisoner Wadid Daqqa used Big Prison to describe a homeland under occupation and Little Prison for the architecture of the cells where Zionism manifests in its purest, most malignant form. The prison is fortified by barbed wire, Hebrew legal codes, and international impunity. Imprisonment itself steals childhood from children, abducts parents from their sons and daughters, and extracts leaders from the resistance movement. But from behind these bars, writers like Daqqa and Wissam Rafiti have produced literature that has moved the nation and the world alike into action. The object of Zionism is the destruction of the Palestinian as a Palestinian. As former prisoner Hadil Shatara puts it, you take a hostage to do an exchange to achieve something. Israel imprisons Palestinians to end our existence. Shame. Across every site of confinement and ruin runs a current of refusal and resistance, gathering force and coalescing into a struggle that cannot be brought to its knees. As one writer from Beirut makes clear, their machines may swarm the sky, but we are the keepers of the earth. The Arabic word for confession, i'tiraf, also means recognition. A Palestinian prisoner who refuses to confess refuses to recognize and legitimize the colonizer's power. Amidst beatings, torture, rape, confinement, and psychological warfare, i'tiraf is the battle of wills at the heart of the Zionist dungeon, and the steadfastness of every prisoner sustained precisely because they do not struggle alone. It is a creative and collective refusal built on a full-hearted belief in the victory to come. On September 6, 2021, 6 men dug their way out of Gilboa's Zionist prison, a high-security dungeon, using only spoons. A photo was taken of bewildered Zionist police and prison guards standing around the hole from which they escaped, no bigger than a small man's shoulders. They were faced with a degree of steadfastness and ingenuity inconceivable to the Zionist imagination. One of these men, Ayham Kamamji, remained triumphant in the face of his recapture 2 weeks later. He said, "Oh, comrades, our comrades are pearls set upon crowns. Oh, listener, at the closing of my verse and at the end of my words is a call. Free the prisoner and liberate the homeland." Thank you.
Free them all.
Free our prisoners, free them all.
Break the chains and let them fall.
Break the chains and let them fall.
Free our prisoners, free them all.
Free our prisoners, free them all.
Zionism will fall.
Zionism will fall.
Brick by brick, wall by wall.
Brick by brick, wall by wall.
Zionism will fall.
Zionism will fall.
Brick by brick, wall by wall.
Brick by brick, wall by wall.
Zionism will fall.
Zionism will fall.
Israel will fall.
Israel will fall.
Imperialism will fall.
Imperialism will
And
fall.
Palestine will be free.
Palestine will be free.
From the river to the sea.
From the river to the sea.
As you've heard from many speakers, the recently introduced execution bill puts the lives of almost 10,000 Palestinians at risk if they are convicted of quote-unquote terrorism. And we know the conviction rate is 99.3% in these kangaroo Zionist courts. Shame! And so that is why it is the duty of every single organization that stands with Palestine, that stands for liberation, that stands against the disgrace of human rights, to organize against this execution bill and to make clear the conditions that our prisoners are facing in Zionist dungeons, and to continue to organize until Palestine is free. And next up, I want to introduce a speaker from an organization that has been doing that for decades. Please help me in welcoming Bill from Palestine, from Pal Auda.
Free our prisoners, free them all!
Free our prisoners, free them all!
Break the chains and make them fall!
Break the chains and make them fall!
Free our prisoners, free them all!
Free our prisoners, free them all!
Break the chains and let them fall!
Break the chains and let them fall!
We are here today on Palestinian Prisoners' Day to stand with heroes! With 10,000 people, 352 women, 84 women, 355 children, imprisoned for the crime of being Palestinian in the land of Palestine. Imprisoned for fighting for freedom. Being tortured and beaten. More than 3,000 administrative detainees arrested without charge, held without charge. And now they are facing execution as the Zionist regime continues in the footsteps of its British creators to hang people for fighting for freedom or for anything, because the conviction rates in military courts is 99%. These facts alone are one more of the many reasons that the tens of billions of dollars the politicians in Washington send to the Zionist state is completely illegal.
That's right.
Under the Lehigh Act. Sending money and arms to a country that to a so-called country, an entity that violates human rights. It is against the law entirely. There is no legal justification for it. The Trump regime knows that, of course. But who else knows it? Chuck Schumer knows it. Kirsten Gillibrand knows it. The blood of the Palestinian prisoners, the hands that torture them, is not only on the hands of the Zionist state, it's on the hands of everyone in Washington who just voted against an arms embargo on the Zionist state. It's the same hand that imprisons hundreds of thousands in this country, the biggest prison state in the world, in these prisons which are concentration camps for the poor. The same hand that imprisons Mumia Abu-Jamal and the many other Black and Latino and Native freedom fighters held in prison. And we have to demand their freedom. Free Mumia Abu-Jamal! Now, we know why they do it. The politicians, the criminals in Washington, they do it for the same reason they do everything. For money. They get paid off. And not just by AIPAC, which is a consortium of war profiteers, but by the military-industrial complex, the prison-industrial complex, all those who profit off war and genocide. And we have to hold them responsible. We know many of their names. They have big names like Citibank and Chevron and Boeing and Palantir. But there are smaller criminals, and some of them are right here in New York City. I want to call attention to a company called Mini Circuits. It manufactures components of the guidance systems for the Hellfire missiles and the THAAD and Patriot anti-missile missiles that allow the genocide to continue. And they're running out of those. They use so many, they're running out of those. But these circuits that are critical in that supply chain are being made right here in Brooklyn at 13 Neptune Avenue by the Mini Circuits Corporation. And I want to invite everyone to join us there at 4 p.m. on Monday. From 4 p.m. on Monday, 4 to 6 p.m. Please join us at 13 Neptune Avenue so we can shut these criminals down, these war provocators. Shut them down big and small. Free our prisoners, free them all.
Prisoners, free them all.
Break the chains, brick by brick, wall by wall. Free our prisoners, free them all. Free Palestine. Palestine will be free. The prisoners shield to the will of the Palestinian people cannot be broken. Thank you.
Free our prisoners, free them all.
Free our prisoners, free them all.
Break the chains and let them fall.
Break the chains and let them fall.
Not another nickel, not another dime.
Not another nickel, not another dime.
No more money for Israel's crime.
No more money for Israel's crime.
Not another penny, not another dollar.
Not another penny, not another dollar.
We won't pay for Israel's slaughter.
We won't pay for Israel's slaughter.
Israel bombs, USA pays.
Israel bombs, USA pays.
Israel bombs, USA pays.
Israel bombs, USA pays.
How many kids did you kill today?
How many kids did you kill today?
Israel bombs, USA pays.
Israel bombs, USA pays.
How many kids did you kill today?
How many kids did you kill today?
And money for jobs and education.
Money for jobs and education.
Not for war and occupation.
Not for war and occupation.
Money for jobs and education.
Money for jobs and education.
Not for war and deportation.
Not for war and deportation.
Next up, I want to invite an organizer from an organization that has been tirelessly working to organize the working class here and to continue to build the revolutionary spirit, as we know that in order to have a revolution in Palestine and total liberation, it also requires for us to organize here in the belly of the beast for revolution. So please join me in welcoming Liz from the Party for Socialism and Liberation. Up with liberation!
Up with liberation!
Up with liberation!
Up with liberation!
Down with occupation!
Down with occupation!
Down with occupation!
Down with occupation!
Hello everyone, I'm Liz and I'm with the Party for Socialism and Liberation. We are here to honor the steadfast determination of Palestinian political prisoners to resist genocide and occupation and to live in freedom and dignity on their land.
That's right!
We are here because just as Palestinian prisoners are the compass for the liberation of Palestine, Palestinian liberation is the compass for the liberation of people all over the world.
That's right!
These connections are not metaphorical. We have seen time and time again how Palestine is used as a testing ground for enacting the most dehumanizing methods of extraction and oppression.
Hey!
Whether it's the drone technology that's used to surveil Palestinians and later deployed in our own cities, or the policy of administrative detention used to remove all rights to due process for Palestinian prisoners, as well as immigrants that are being held in detention by ICE here.
Hey!
We see Israel and the United States mirroring each other's imperialist tactics. We recognize that Israel's death penalty law is a precise demonstration of an apartheid system.
Yep.
One set of rules for Israelis and another for Palestinians.
Hey!
Impunity for Israelis and legalized lynching for Palestinians.
Hey!
The United States' own apartheid system did not end with slavery or with the ending of Jim Crow. It morphed into a system of mass incarceration.
That's right.
The U.S. makes up 5% of the world's population, yet holds 25% of the world's prisoners.
Hey!
The same system that produces genocide in Palestine, produces mass incarceration in the United States, produces the poverty that is then criminalized in order to keep those prisons filled so that they can provide shamefully cheap labor for American companies' profits. The U.S. prison system's goal is exploitation. The Israeli prison system's goal is genocide. What they have in common is that they cannot win.
That's right.
They cannot win because our political prisoners have always used prison as a site of revolutionary struggle. As long as Palestinian prisoners keep fighting after all that they have endured, we will never abandon them or any political prisoners. Imperialism created a pathway for Zionism, and Zionism continues to exist because imperialism protects it. But we cannot let either of them stand.
Yep.
We have a responsibility as people living within the belly of the beast to reject imperialism, to reject Zionism, to reject the genocide in Palestine and the bombardment in Lebanon, to reject the war on Iran and attacks on Venezuela and Cuba, and say we don't want the wealth that our labor creates to line the pockets of the billionaires and the weapons manufacturers. This genocide continues to be carried out by Israel with the full backing and funding of the U.S. government with our tax dollars. And the American taxpayers are now paying $1 billion a day for this illegal war on Iran. That same money is used to fund ICE, which continues to terrorize our immigrant communities. We have a duty to stand together as workers and demand that we, the people who make society run, should be the people who determine how that society runs. If the workers stop working, if the students stop going to school, if people stop shopping, this society will not function. So we are calling for a day of no work, no school, no shopping on May Day, Friday, May 1st at 2 p.m. in Union Square. Palestinian prisoners have shown us the way, but Palestine's fight is not, they are not on their own. It is the fight of every single human being of conscience in the entire world. If we want to live in a world that's free from genocide, free from poverty and exploitation, free from war and imperialism, it is going to take all of us standing together until Palestine is free, until all people all over the world are free. Brick by brick, wall by wall.
Brick by brick, wall by wall.
Zionism will fall.
Zionism will fall.
Brick by brick, wall by wall.
Brick by brick, wall by wall.
Imperialism will fall.
Imperialism will fall.
Number one terrorist.
Number one terrorist.
U.S. imperialist.
U.S. imperialist.
And number one terrorist.
Number one terrorist.
U.S. imperialist.
U.S. imperialist.
Biggest threat in the world today.
Biggest threat in the world today.
Donald Trump in the USA.
Donald Trump in the USA.
Biggest threat in the world today.
Biggest threat in the world today.
Israel in the USA.
Israel in the USA.
Fund people's needs, not the war machine.
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 Money for jobs and education,
Money for jobs and education,
not for war and occupation.
not for war and occupation.
Money for jobs and education,
Money for jobs and education,
not for war and deportation.
not for war and deportation.
Alright, so where's everyone gonna be May 1st at 2 p.m.?
Union
Wait,
Square.
I can't hear you guys. Where?
Union Square.
What day?
May
For what?
Mayday.
What? Shut it down. Mayday. All right. So next up, I want to introduce an organizer from the Palestinian Youth Movement, an organization that has formed here in order to bring together and to mobilize Palestinian and Arab youth from across the far diaspora here, because we know that while Zionism seeks to fracture our people by dividing the land of Palestine, by forcibly exiling Palestinians in refugee camps in Jordan and in Lebanon and in the far diaspora here, and also through the prison system in the Zionist entity, we have a duty to resist that fragmentation, right? We have a duty to organize, to bring our people together, to wake up other people to the Palestinian struggle. And this is what the Palestinian Youth Movement has been doing tirelessly for many years, especially the last two. So please help me in welcoming Ibtihad to the Palestinian Youth Movement. Free our prisoners, free them all!
Free our prisoners, free them all!
Break their chains and let them fall!
Break their chains and let them fall!
Free our prisoners, free them all!
Free our prisoners, free them all!
Break their chains and let them fall!
Break their chains and let them fall!
Palestinian Prisoners Day is a tribute to our heroes who sacrificed everything in service of the struggle for liberation. Woo! It is a day where we recall and denounce the barbarism of the Zionist occupier. But it is above all a call to action, a reminder that we have a duty to our captive brothers and sisters, that fighting for their release is a duty, a crucial fight in our ongoing struggle. We understand that we must learn we understand that we must listen to their words, learn from their organized tactics, and be inspired by their revolutionary optimism. For decades, the Palestinian Prisoners Movement has exposed the horrific depths of Israel's carceral society, a machine designed to break bodies and break spirits. Yet within these conditions of unimaginable brutality, Palestinian political prisoners have built revolutionary schools. They have organized strikes, and they have created networks of solidarity that span generations. Subjected to the most severe systems of torture, they have refused to be broken, instead becoming the intellectual and moral backbone of our liberation struggle. On March 30th, the Israeli Knesset approved a bill authorizing the execution of Palestinian prisoners by hanging, which we've heard multiple people talk about here today. This bill requires execution within 90 days of sentencing for any Palestinian found to have caused lethal acts of terror while defending their lands and resisting the occupation. The conviction rate for Palestinians in Israeli military courts is over 96%.
Shame.
While Israeli war criminals popped champagne bottles celebrating the passing of this bill, in yet another way they bypass any form of morality, our people in the West Bank called for a general strike and shut their shops and businesses down. Our people in Gaza that has been ruthlessly bombed and ravished by Zionist monsters, took to the streets in protest. I want to highlight that on that same day, on March 30th, more than 10 federal ICE agents violently abducted Salah Sarsour, a beloved Milwaukee grandfather and community leader. It is clear that the United States has targeted him for being a Palestinian Muslim, vocal in his advocacy against Israel's ongoing genocide in Gaza, and for the rights of the Palestinian people. The struggle to free our prisoners extends beyond Palestine. It extends to our brothers from the Holy Land Foundation, who were imprisoned nearly 2 decades ago for providing humanitarian aid to Palestinians.
to community members who are imprisoned today for being vocal on Palestine. When we say that prisoners are the compass of our struggle, it is because they teach us more than anything else that a dedication to resistance is the only path forward. That resistance, despite the conditions one faces, is a necessity for our collective freedom. Palestinian prisoners teach us how to renegotiate the terrain that is forced upon us into one where our fight determines the outcome of our struggle. And so they imprison our leaders to try and stifle our organizing. They capture and detain our youth to attempt to quench the flames of resistance. They exile our elders, thinking it'll detach us from our revolutionary history. But that will never be successful. We learn from our prisoners and martyrs who know the importance of commitment to the struggle, who sacrifice for it, no matter the consequence. We learn from our prisoners that a commitment to the struggle spans every aspect of our lives, that it is a duty and a responsibility we hold with immense discipline. Till every prisoner is free, till every prison is emptied, until the complete and total liberation of our land and our people. Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
علي 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 علي
علي علي علي علي
علي أنا بالثورة علي
علي
وعلي علي علي علي
علي علي علي
علي أنا بالثورة علي
علي
يا سير 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 واحنا معاكم للتحرير وحرية حرية للأسرى الحرية للأسرى الحرية.
Alright, give it up for Fiaz. She just launched that chant, but if for people who don't know it before, haven't heard it before, it means freedom, freedom for our prisoners' freedom. حرية حرية لأسرانا حرية 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 لأسرانا الحرية. Alright, are you guys ready to march? Alright, we're gonna hear from one last speaker from a recently launched campaign, a campaign that was launched by the Palestinian Youth Movement and other organizations called the Campaign to Free All Palestinian Political Prisoners. Give it up for Dalia.
Free our prisoners, free them all!
Free our prisoners, free them all!
Break the chains and let them fall!
Break the chains and let them fall!
Free our prisoners, free them all!
Free our prisoners, free them all!
Zionism will fall!
Zionism will fall!
Zionism will fall!
Zionism will fall!
Thank you. As my comrade Ibtihal said, for years, the Zionist entity has used its prisoners as an apparatus to suppress the Palestinian people's resistance and attempt to sever our people from the national liberation struggle. Shame. Yet time and time again, our prisoners have refused submission, perpetually putting their bodies in direct confrontation with the Zionist entity as they refuse their chains. However, over the past 2 years of depraved U.S.-Israeli genocide against our people in Gaza, Israel has escalated their violence against Palestinian prisoners, carrying out a silent genocide behind bars. Prisons that once served as revolutionary schools for our people, whose rights were gained through the blood and sacrifice of our martyrs of the prisoners' movement, are now more than ever a network of torture camps that serve to destroy our prisoners' spirit and their struggle. The past 2 years have marked the deadliest period ever for Palestinian prisoners in Zionist dungeons, with more than 70 prisoners ascending to martyrdom while still behind bars. In its failure to eradicate the Palestinian people's resistance and steadfastness, the Zionist entity is escalating every avenue and tool at their disposal to continue to perpetuate the genocide against the Palestinian people. Recently liberated prisoners are recounting their stories of unspeakable forms of torture, interrogation, starvation, and sexual assault that have become an organized practice in Zionist prisons. I will now read a testimony from a recently liberated prisoner. I was arrested from Al-Shifat Hospital in Gaza. I was held in military camps for 97 days in the Gaza envelope. I was then held at Al-Fur prison for 30 days, after which I was transferred to the Naqab prison. I was interrogated during my arrest and subjected to severe physical assault, causing deep wounds to my head and broken ribs. I was subjected to harsh interrogation for 30 days after my arrest, including the disco interrogation torture method. I was subjected to this type of torture more than 7 times, accompanied by beatings, deprivation of food, and permission to shower. In Naqab prison, I was also interrogated, and due to the intensity of the torture and beatings, I lost consciousness several times. This led me to make false confessions to things that I did not do. Through this infrastructure of torture, and now the legalization of it via the death penalty law, the message the Zionist entity is attempting to send is that the price for any resistance to the brutal occupation is death. In the same month of this death penalty bill, charges against 5 soldiers recorded sexually assaulting a Palestinian detainee were dropped by Israeli society. No investigation was conducted, not even as a performance, because Zionism is an ideology predicated on the death of Palestinians. Zionism creates a society that toasts to the execution and the hanging and the rape of Palestinians. Our prisoners are steadfast, but they are not invincible. Our movement's role right now is to confront the world's governments and institutions that have aided and ignored Israel's genocide behind bars. Because of this, the Palestinian Youth Movement, in coalition with a group of international organizations, has launched the critical campaign Free All Palestinian Political Prisoners and the Genocide Behind Bars, to call for the immediate release of the near 10,000 of our people being tortured in Zionist dungeons. To this end, we demand that people across the globe take up the struggle of Palestinian prisoners. From prison to Date Tayman, to Al-Fur prison, to Al-Masqubiyya, our people cry out for liberation, and it is our duty to answer their call. Free our prisoners, free them all!
Free our prisoners, free them all!
Break the chains and let them fall!
Break the chains and let them fall!
Free our prisoners, free them all!
Free our prisoners, free them all!
Zionism will fall!
Zionism will fall!
Israel will fall!
Israel will fall!
Zionism will fall!
Zionism will fall!
وحرية حرية
حرية حرية
لا أصال الحرية
حرية
حرية حرية
حرية حرية
لا أصال الحرية. Thank you. Give it up one more time for Dalia. All right, I know we've been standing here for a while, and I know I said we're about to march, but we just had someone come up to us who is actually a doctor who was just in Gaza a month ago, treating people in Gaza.
and has some testimonies to share with us. And I think it's an honor for us to hear some of these testimonies. So I would like everyone to come in a little closer, to give him your full attention. Really, this is important for us here to hear the stories from our prisoners and from our people in Gaza and in Palestine, to listen to every word, to honor their struggle and the sacrifice, and to continue to commit to the struggle. So please join me in welcoming Salman.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. I apologize in advance due to the very graphic nature of this testimony, but I believe it needs to be heard. I'm an infectious disease doctor. I was in Gaza last month in Khan Yunis at Nasser Hospital, and this is testimony that I heard from one of the hospital security staff. He shared with us an agonizing testimony about what his brother experienced and witnessed after being kidnapped and imprisoned by the occupation. His brother, like most Palestinian hostages, was unlawfully detained. He endured various forms of sadistic torture, including prolonged stress positioning while stripped naked, and brutal beatings for coming out of the stress position. Shame. Plastic wrist ties were excessively constricted and left on for prolonged periods, leading to wrist ulceration. In some cases, this results in limb amputation that is performed without anesthetic. One of our doctors who was interpreting from Arabic to English asked another doctor to step in our group due to the extremely gratuitous nature of the abuse. Prisoners were sexually assaulted, including being raped by trained dogs. Israeli soldiers poured scalding water or acid onto prisoners' open wounds as an added punishment for any attempt to heal wounds, for example, through the use of improvised sutures. Prisoners were also forcibly starved. Often a meal consisted of one piece of moldy bread, cucumber, or tomato per day. Prisoners lost from half up to 2/3 of their body weight. Prisoners were also psychologically tortured, being falsely told that their family had been killed. Bomb-equipped drones were hovered over detainees' family homes with the threat of killing their family. Family members were also deceitfully told that their imprisoned family members had been killed. While this is a single survivor's account, Israel's systematic and pervasive use of torture against Palestinian detainees is well documented. Thank you for listening.
حرية حرية
حرية حرية
نصرنا حرية
حرية
حرية حرية
حرية حرية
نصرنا الحرية
حرية
حرية حرية
حرية حرية
نصرنا الحرية.
حرية.
Really, there are no words to say, but what we can do is continue every single day to do the bare minimum, to organize, to make aware everyone what the conditions are that our prisoners are facing in Palestine in Zionist dungeons, funded by our tax dollars and supported diplomatically and militarily by this government. So I want everyone to keep the chants that we learned today in mind, and to shout them loud in the streets right now, and carry the messages of our prisoners with us as we march, and every single day until Palestine is free and our prisoners are free. Free our prisoners, free them all.
Free our prisoners, free them all.
Break the chains that let them fall.
Break the chains and let them fall.
Free our prisoners, free them all.
Free our prisoners, free them all.
Zionism will fall.
Zionism will fall.
And free our prisoners, free them all.
Free our prisoners, free them all.
Break the chains and let them fall.